Welcome, everybody. My name is Jacob Youngblood. I'm a PhD student at Arizona State University, and I'm here with my co-presenter.
Hi, I'm Emily Webb. I'm an assistant professor at Rockford University currently, but formerly I was also a PhD student at Arizona State University.
And today we're going to be talking about a fully online vertebrate zoology course that we developed and evaluated. And this online course includes 8 at-home dissections of animal specimens. And so we're going to talk about how we implemented those at-home dissections and also talk about how we evaluated the course and the at-home dissections. And as a content warning, we do have some pictures of dead animal specimens. And so if that's something that makes you feel uncomfortable, please feel free to listen to this talk just on the audio version. And so online college courses, one thing that will come as no surprise is that online college courses are growing in popularity. And so over the past 20 years, we've seen about 4 million more students take online college courses. And as of 2020, nearly 40% of college students in the United States were taking at least one online course. And then in 2020, virtually every university switched to remote online instruction because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And so recently there's been a big debate about the costs and benefits of online education and how we can best deliver online courses to our students. And so this debate has been especially poignant in biology programs, mainly because online and in-person biology students tend to want to do really hands-on careers. And so whether it's in person or online, most biology students want to become medical doctors, scientific researchers, or just otherwise work in healthcare. And all of these careers require practical hands-on skills. Even the American Association of Medical Colleges recommends that medical schools evaluate applicants based on their motor skills and observation skills. In an in-person program, students develop these skills through hands-on labs, but most online programs do not provide similar opportunities for those online students to develop those hands-on practical skills. Online programs have, of course, tried to integrate practical skills training into their programs, namely through computer simulations, where students are kind of pointing and clicking to use lab equipment or simulated lab equipment. More recently, virtual reality has turned out to be, seems to have some promise for teaching practical skills and has been used in flight simulations for a long time to teach pilots. But it's important to remember that neither of these actually teach students how to do hands-on practical skills, even though it may teach them some conceptual knowledge about those skills. They can't learn how to pipette through virtual reality or how to dissect a specimen through virtual reality. So some schools, including Arizona State University, have required their online students to visit campus to complete some lab work in person. And specifically, online biology students at Arizona State visit campus to do online chemistry labs. But we argue that this is a very exclusive method for teaching online students because many students might not have the time or resources to visit campuses for those in-person labs. And so a more inclusive approach may be to teach practical skills through at-home laboratory kits. And so we designed a fully online undergraduate biology course, which was vertebrate zoology. And this zoology course included 8 at-home hands-on dissections using laboratory kits. And so in this talk, we're going to describe how we implemented at-home dissections in the online course. We're going to discuss how we evaluated changes in student outcomes during the course. And then we're going to end by providing some recommendations for other instructors who may be interested in implementing at-home labs.
All right, so we didn't start from scratch though. Vertebrate zoology was originally an in-person course only, and it included a lecture component where we focused on the behavior, ecology, and evolution of major vertebrate groups, And then in the labs, we focused on the evolution of anatomy and physiology of those same vertebrate groups. As a team, what we did was we converted this in-person course to an online format. And particularly for the labs, we converted the in-person dissections into at-home dissection kits, and we made videos and other resources to go with those dissection kits to help students learn hands-on practical skills. These dissection kits contained a wide variety of vertebrate species, almost as wide as we could get in person, with a couple of exceptions. We couldn't do hagfish and lamprey, but we could do the dogfish shark, the perch, the rat, bullfrog, the turtle, the snake, the pigeon, and the mink. So there's still a pretty good variety of things that you can get online in these dissection kits. We used Carolina Biological. They have company. They have a program that lets you customize the kits that you can order or allow students to order. And our kit with these 8 dissections cost around $200 plus shipping. And just to give you an idea of how much these kits can cost, it is still a potential barrier for students. So if you can subsidize that in any way, that would be even better. We also created an unboxing video to help with the students identify all the elements of their kit. And the resources that we gave them in addition to that unboxing video included dissection primers and instructional videos to go with each dissection. So a dissection primer, what it is it's a PowerPoint that we created that includes written descriptions and functions of each of the structures that we expect them to be able to identify in their specimens. So this is an example of what the digestive system slide on the bullfrog dissection primer looks like. And then on the left, we also have a clip of one of our instructional videos for the bullfrog. We'll show a bit of that for you now. There we go. But you might notice that the skin is actually really thin. There's the rib cage. All right, so what you just saw was basically what we focused on in the instructional video was not just pointing out what each of the structures were so that students could identify them, although that was part of it too. It was also helping guide them through the actual dissection itself, and also being a role model with demonstrating how to wear proper PPE and use the dissection tools. So that was how we assessed the dissections, but how we assessed the course was using these pre-post surveys. And we evaluated changes in 4 main different student outcomes. The first one was anatomical self-efficacy, which was a 15 Likert scale item outcome that was based on a previously validated measure. And essentially what it means as a whole is it is students' perception of their ability to complete anatomy-related tasks. For example, how confident are you that you can use dissection tools? We also had a separate confidence in kind of general laboratory practical skills measure that had 3 Likert items and an open-ended component. Third, we had perceptions of support, both from peers and from instructors, and that also had an open-ended component. And then finally, we had an open-ended only question about any concerns that students had with the dissections.
And so starting with some of our results on anatomical self-efficacy, in a sample of 89 students with paired pre and post surveys, we found that we observed a 13% increase in anatomical self-efficacy. And similarly, we observed increases in student confidence in 3 different practical skills. We saw a 19% increase in student confidence in performing a dissection on their own, We observed a 10% increase in student confidence in doing laboratory-based tasks, and students showed a 7% increase in following written and their confidence in their ability to follow written instructions. And these gains in confidence were facilitated by hands-on. Students perceived that these gains in confidence were facilitated by hands-on experience that was acquired throughout the online course. And so one student mentioned that they were a senior in a biology major, and this is the first semester where biological science finally clicked for them. And then also, second example, one student stated that the course was the most hands-on course they've ever taken at the university. And so these two examples are just some of those where students attributed those gains in confidence to the hands-on experience from the at-home laboratories.
And we also looked at perceived support and found that it decreased overall during the course. Specifically, there was a 14% decrease in perceived support from peers and a 7% decrease in perceived support from instructors. And this loss in support was at least partly attributed to students not feeling that support was actually necessary throughout the course. So some examples of student comments about this included, I knew the instructor would be there, but I didn't need to use him. Students also commented on how the dissections were independent or individually completed, which was true. They said things like, I did my own dissections and I didn't find that I needed it. And so that highlights the general sense of students not feeling like they needed support in the course. And we looked at the concerns, open-ended responses. We found that generally the number of types of concerns decreased, as well as the overall percentage of students who felt that they had concerns decreased throughout the course. The biggest drops were associated with concerns relating to real-time assistance and concerns relating to fear of failure. So one general example of this was a student who said, I do not have any concerns about taking a future course that includes lab dissections of vertebrates. I'm actually more open to them now after experiencing this course. So it's good to see those kinds of positive reviews. We also have one student who at the beginning of the course said, I'm concerned if I do have a question while dissecting and I won't be able to get the help I need right away. Which was interesting to see because we were worried about that ourselves as instructors. We were worried that they wouldn't feel like they got the same level of real-time assistance online as in person. But these concerns went away from pre to post. So that suggests that they did feel like they were able to get the assistance that they needed in real time. And so that's good. And then some students also said things like, my only concern is that I might not dissect the right way and mess something or everything up at the beginning of the course. And those concerns also went down. So that was good to see.
And so in conclusion, using those pre-post surveys, we found that the course, or students taking the course, gained confidence and anatomical self-efficacy. And so based on those data, we argue that at-home laboratories are a viable approach for teaching practical skills to online students. However, our data also shows some shortcomings of our online course. Specifically, our course did not meet student expectations of support from either the peers or their instructors. And so we have some recommendations on how to address some of these shortcomings.
The first one being to create more opportunities for students to discuss their lab experiences, either through discussion boards or assignments that explicitly require students to compare their dissections or discuss the dissections in some way. And this is because we do see that decrease in perceived support. And even if students feel like it's because they didn't need it, collaboration is still a pretty important element of biology courses, a skill we want them to leave from a biology major. And so it still would probably be a good idea to incorporate more of those types of experiences in an online biology course. The second main recommendation we have is relating to some of the qualitative results that we didn't explicitly share, but are in the paper. And that's many students commented on how they appreciated the use of multimodal, high quality instructional materials. So if another person is going to create an online kind of hands-on at-home lab type course, we strongly recommend using multiple types of materials, like the videos and the dissection primers, for example. And then finally, the last recommendation we have is based on just our own personal experiences from implementing this course, and that's to require the instructional team to perform the at-home labs. And that's really similar to in-person labs, even, where if you do the lab yourself, it's easier to understand where students can make mistakes, and it's easier to grade the assessments based on those experiences. So with that, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Again, I'm Emily Webb. My email is ewebb@rockford.edu. You can also find me on Twitter at the Emily Aves.
And I'm Jacob Youngblood. I can also be reached by email or Twitter. My email is jpyoungb@asu.edu, and my Twitter handle is @jpyoungblood_. And then we've also included a link to the paper as well as a QR code, and we encourage you to check out our paper, check out the course materials in the supplement, and please reach out to us if you have any questions. And so thanks again for listening or watching the talk, and we hope to hear from you soon.